Classified breakers offer a nuanced area within electrical installations. A manufacturer may choose to have their breakers classified for use in other panel boards. These breakers meet the listing requirements for the applicable panel boards. Panel board labeling may indicate that only breakers manufactured by the same company should be used. However, this labeling is not a listing or labeling instruction according to the National Electrical Code, Section 110.3b. This manufacturer's labeling is merely a suggestion and recommendation for compliance with the warranty and guarantee, and it does not enforce a violation of NEC Section 110.3b. Inspectors are responsible for verifying that classified breakers comply with the listing requirements. The manufacturer's wording cannot be upheld as a violation of NEC Section 110.3b. There are several additional considerations to keep in mind. Firstly, consider warranty and guarantee compliance. Using breakers not specified by the panel board manufacturer may void warranties or guarantees. Secondly, safety and performance are key. Classified breakers meet the safety standards and performance criteria for the intended panel boards. Thirdly, think about interchangeability. Classified breakers provide interchangeability between different manufacturers' equipment, allowing for flexibility in system design and maintenance. And finally, consider availability and selection. Classified breakers expand the range of breakers available for use in various panel boards, increasing component availability and selection options. In greater detail, a manufacturer's choice is pivotal. Manufacturers possess the option to classify their breakers for utilization in other panel boards. These breakers are designed and tested to align with the listing requirements established for the specific panel boards they are intended to be used with. This classification process involves rigorous testing and evaluation to ensure that the breakers perform safely and effectively within the designated parameters of the foreign panel board. This process often includes short-circuit testing, overload testing, and endurance testing conducted in accordance with industry standards such as Underwriters Laboratories, or ALL standards. The successful completion of these tests signifies that the breaker meets the necessary safety and performance criteria for the intended application. The label on a panel board may include specific instructions or recommendations regarding the types of circuit breakers that should be installed within it. This labeling serves as a guide for installers and users, providing information on the appropriate components to use in order to maintain the integrity and safety of the electrical system. However, it is important to note that this labeling is not necessarily a mandatory listing or labeling instruction as defined by NEC Section 110.3b. Instead, it often represents the manufacturer's suggestion or recommendation for ensuring optimal performance and compliance with their warranty terms. While it is generally advisable to adhere to the manufacturer's recommendations, especially when it comes to critical components like circuit breakers, there may be instances where classified breakers offer a viable alternative. Classified breakers are those that have been tested and approved for use in panel boards manufactured by different companies. These breakers meet the necessary safety and performance standards for the intended application, providing installers with greater flexibility in selecting components. In situations where classified breakers are considered, it is crucial to verify that they are indeed listed and labeled for use in the specific panel board in question. This information can typically be found in the breaker's product documentation or on the manufacturer's website. By ensuring that the classified breaker meets the required specifications, installers can maintain the safety and reliability of the electrical system while potentially benefiting from increased component availability and selection options. The distinction between a manufacturer's recommendation and NEC requirement is crucial in understanding the use of classified breakers. The manufacturer's labeling is often a suggestion aimed at ensuring compliance with their warranty and guarantee, but it does not have the force of a legally binding code requirement. The NEC, on the other hand, establishes the minimum safety standards for electrical installations and equipment. Therefore, while it is important to consider the manufacturer's recommendations, compliance with the NEC is paramount. Inspectors play a vital role in ensuring that electrical installations meet the required safety standards. They are responsible for verifying that all components, including classified breakers, comply with the listing requirements established by recognized testing laboratories such as UL. The inspector's determination of compliance is based on the specific characteristics of the classified breaker and its intended application, as well as the relevant provisions of the NEC. The inspector cannot enforce the manufacturer's wording as a violation of NEC Section 110.3b unless it directly contradicts a specific requirement of the code. It is important for installers and users to understand the inspector's role in enforcing compliance with the NEC. By ensuring that all electrical installations meet the required safety standards, inspectors help to protect people and property from the hazards associated with electricity. Using breakers that are not specified by the panelboard manufacturer may void the warranties or guarantees associated with the panelboard or the breakers themselves. Panelboard manufacturers often specify the types of breakers that are approved for use in their equipment based on extensive testing and evaluation. These specifications are designed to ensure that the breakers will function safely and effectively within the panelboard's electrical system. When breakers are used that do not meet the manufacturer's specifications, the panelboard's performance and reliability may be compromised. This can lead to premature failure of the breakers or the panelboard, as well as potential safety hazards. In addition, the use of non-approved breakers may void the manufacturer's warranty or guarantee, leaving the user responsible for any repairs or replacements that may be needed. It is therefore important to carefully consider the warranty implications before using any breakers that are not specifically approved by the panelboard manufacturer. Classified breakers are designed to meet the safety standards and performance criteria for the panelboards in which they are intended to be used. These breakers undergo rigorous testing and evaluation to ensure that they can safely and effectively handle the electrical loads and fault currents associated with the intended application. This testing typically includes short-circuit testing, overload testing, and endurance testing conducted in accordance with industry standards. The successful completion of these tests signifies that the breaker meets the necessary safety and performance criteria for the intended panelboard. Classified breakers provide interchangeability between different manufacturers' equipment, allowing for flexibility in system design and maintenance. This can be particularly useful in situations where a specific type of breaker is no longer available from the original manufacturer or when it is more cost-effective to use a classified breaker from a different manufacturer. The interchangeability offered by classified breakers can also simplify system maintenance and troubleshooting. By providing a readily available alternative to the original breakers, classified breakers can reduce downtime and minimize the disruption caused by electrical system failures. In addition, classified breakers can facilitate system upgrades and modifications. By providing a compatible replacement for the original breakers, classified breakers can allow for the addition of new circuits or the replacement of existing circuits without requiring extensive modifications to the panelboard or the electrical system. Classified breakers expand the range of breakers available for use in various panelboards, increasing component availability and selection options. This increased availability can be particularly beneficial in situations where a specific type of breaker is in short supply or when it is necessary to find a more cost-effective alternative. The expanded selection options offered by classified breakers can also provide installers with greater flexibility in designing and configuring electrical systems. By having access to a wider range of breakers, installers can tailor the system to meet the specific needs of the application, while also ensuring that it meets all applicable safety standards. In summary, understanding the use of classified breakers involves considering manufacturer choices, panelboard labeling, the distinction between manufacturer recommendations and NEC requirements, and the inspector's responsibility. Additional considerations include warranty and guarantee compliance, safety and performance, interchangeability, and availability and selection. By carefully evaluating these factors, installers and users can make informed decisions about the use of classified breakers in electrical installations. Let's delve deeper into each of these aspects. The choice to classify a breaker for use in another manufacturer's panelboard rests solely with the breaker manufacturer. They undertake this process to broaden the applicability of their products. This classification isn't a blanket approval, it's specific. The breaker must meet the rigorous testing standards and performance criteria set by organizations like UL for the particular panel board in which it is to be installed. This often involves submitting the breaker to additional tests beyond those required for its original listing. The panel board's label, while informative, isn't the final authority. It typically recommends using only the panel board manufacturer's breakers. This recommendation stems from the manufacturer's desire to ensure optimal performance and maintain warranty obligations. However, this recommendation doesn't automatically invalidate the use of a classified breaker. NEC Section 110.3b focuses on adherence to listing and labeling instructions. A panel board label's recommendation isn't a listing or labeling instruction in the code's context. It's a guideline, not a mandate enforced by the NEC. The manufacturer's recommendation is closely tied to their warranty and guarantee. Using non-recommended breakers could potentially void a warranty. It's a business decision for the end user to weigh the benefits of using a classified breaker against potential warranty implications. The inspector's role is to verify compliance with the NEC and the breaker's listing. They assess whether the classified breaker is appropriately listed for the specific panel board and if the installation adheres to all relevant code requirements. The inspector's focus is on safety and code compliance, not on enforcing a manufacturer's recommendation. Warranty considerations are crucial. While a classified breaker might be code compliant and safe, using it could invalidate the panel board manufacturer's warranty. This is a risk that the user must assess. Classified breakers are designed and tested to meet the safety and performance standards of the panel boards in which they are listed for use. This ensures that they provide adequate protection against overloads and short circuits. Interchangeability is a significant advantage. Classified breakers offer flexibility in system design and maintenance, allowing for the use of different manufacturers' equipment. Availability and selection are also enhanced. Classified breakers expand the range of available options, making it easier to find the right breaker for a specific application. The NEC provides the baseline for electrical safety, but manufacturers' instructions are also crucial. Always consult both when dealing with classified breakers. Consider a scenario where a panel board manufacturer recommends using only their breakers, citing potential compatibility issues. However, a classified breaker from another manufacturer is listed for use in that panel board. The inspector would focus on whether the classified breaker is properly listed and installed according to the NEC. They wouldn't reject the installation solely based on the panel board manufacturer's recommendation. The user would need to consider the warranty implications. The end user balances code compliance with potential warranty concerns. Let's consider another instance where a panel board's label says, use only X brand breakers. An electrician installs a Y brand classified breaker that is listed for use in that panel board. The electrical inspector cannot reject this installation based solely on the panel board label. The inspector must verify that the Y brand breaker is indeed listed for that specific panel board and that the installation complies with all other applicable NEC requirements. The warranty considerations remain with the owner. The owner should be made aware that using the Y brand breaker may void the X brand panel board's warranty. It is their decision to accept this risk or replace the breaker with an X brand breaker. A key point is that manufacturers often use phrases like should or recommended in their panel board labeling. These phrases indicate suggestions, not mandatory requirements. The NEC only enforces mandatory requirements found in the code itself and in the listing and labeling instructions of equipment. If a panel board label stated must use only X brand breakers, this might still not be enforceable as a listing or labeling instruction under 110.3b unless the panel board's listing specifically requires it. The listing is the ultimate authority. The listing of a piece of electrical equipment, such as a panel board or circuit breaker, is the result of rigorous testing and evaluation by a nationally recognized testing laboratory like UL. The listing indicates that the equipment meets certain safety standards and performance criteria. When an electrical inspector evaluates an installation, they primarily focus on ensuring that the equipment is installed and used in accordance with its listing. If the listing of a panel board does not explicitly restrict the use of breakers from other manufacturers, then a classified breaker can be used, provided it is listed for use in that panel board. This underscores the importance of understanding the specific listing requirements for both the panel board and the circuit breaker. Always refer to the product's documentation and the manufacturer's specifications to verify compatibility and compliance. Remember that electrical codes and standards are constantly evolving. It's crucial to stay updated on the latest requirements and interpretations to ensure safe and compliant electrical installations.